What's going on, people? Welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni. Before I continue with this interview, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I am here with JP, fellow Chelsea fan, after a 2-0 win away at the Emirates Stadium for Chelsea Football Club. As you guys know, I was very confident that Chelsea were going to come away with 3 points and keep a clean sheet. But JP, before we get into the details of the game, let me know how you felt before.
Mate, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous with Arsenal, in all fairness. Been our bogey team for the last couple of years, lost a couple of trophies against them.
Double over us last season.
Yeah, I know. Was a little worried. Didn't know how we were going to perform. Lukaku as well, new signature signing. Happy. We're doing well.
With Lukaku, what I will say is, honestly, is I don't think he had the best of the best games. But to introduce, on your debut, or your second debut, if you want to call it that, get a goal against Arsenal in the derby, always a good sign. So you can't really ask for more than that. But overall, my confidence came from the fact that, aside from the obvious that we're champions of Europe, and they'll never sing it.
And we know who we are.
Yeah, we definitely know who we are. And obviously off the back of the UEFA Super Cup. And then seeing Arsenal against Brentford last week.
Happy days.
Yeah, it was. But like from a tactical perspective, playing a back four against Brentford, in my opinion, was a terrible idea.
Okay.
Arteta, why the fuck would you play a back four against Chelsea? After you saw what Ivan Toney did to Ben White and you're playing against Lukaku.
A big man like that that's an absolute bully, why in hell would you invite that to happen? Why would you sit back? Why would you not try and play on the front foot after getting beaten by a team that's just joined from the Championship and then going against the champions of Europe and deciding that that's the way in which you want to play? Crazy.
Let's talk about Lukaku's first goal. Obviously, Reece James with the assist.
Yeah.
What a game Reece James had. Obviously, he capped off his performance with a goal, but we'll come on to that afterwards. But the assist, obviously, from the right-hand side, drilled it in low to Lukaku. Was it low? I can't remember.
Yeah,
he drilled it. Yeah, he did drill it in low to Lukaku. Yeah, that's the one. Lukaku puts it away. But honestly, when I looked at the replay, it was schoolboy defensive errors from Arsenal.
Always. Man marking was absolutely poor as hell. You can watch it from the header as well. All the time not picking up their man. To be honest with you, I've watched a lot of the highlights of Lukaku last season with Inter Milan. I watched before he made the signing, all the rest of it. And a lot of his goals have been this. So Arsenal should have been prepared for this. They should have seen what he's done. He scored however many goals last season. Was it 24? I don't know if the number is exactly right. But either way, a lot of these goals came in from low balls, drilled in, couple of yards in. They should have been more than aware that this is the way that this man is playing now.
Bread and butter.
Oh, bread and butter. Absolutely capitalising upon every single opportunity he gets. The fact that they've let this slip as well is more to the point. Sorry, troops. Arsenal are fucking struggling.
Hey, listen, Truth is most probably going to see this, so listen, I did tell you we weren't going to give you an easy time, especially if we were going to win. Although we didn't get the 3-0 that I predicted because, look, credit where it's due. Leno's been getting a lot of stick, but I'm going to give him credit for that save from that Lukaku header because I thought that was it.
That was
3-0.
Absolute bullet header. You think, job done.
Did you see Lukaku after the header? He was like, did he save it? He actually thought he missed it.
Mate, to be honest with you, there's not a lot of keepers that pull out those sorts of reaction saves, and you've got to give credit where credit's due. Leno made an absolute worldie of a save. Most of the time, you're seeing a top striker putting that top bins right in the back of the net. Off you go celebrating. What can you say?
Absolutely.
What can you say?
And then, obviously, we'll come on to the second goal. Reece James. Now, we've seen the capability of Reece James in front of goal. We've always known because, me personally, I saw him from his loan at Wigan as well. And I know what he was doing from there and the types of goals he was scoring. Reece James is a very, very technical right back. And if you have him one-on-one in front of a goalkeeper, he can be as lethal as a striker. Yeah. Last season, who is it that he scored his debut goal against when he absolutely thunder-cunted it top corner?
That's the word. That's the word. I can't remember the team it was, but let's be honest. I'll quickly sort of sidetrack this. I'm a little bit worried about Reece James at the moment.
Yeah, no, I was going to come on to that, but go on.
Play time. I'm a little bit worried after going into the Euros with the selection of players that we had. I'm a little bit worried about whether or not Reece James will stay at Chelsea due to play time. at the moment, as long as we give him game time, we allow him time to develop, grow, and continue, and be the player that he is, that we all know. Fantastic. I love the guy, but I am worried that someone like maybe City or further abroad, if he doesn't get the game time, will take someone like that from us. And I think he's integral to Chelsea's growth and development.
100%.
And in all fairness, if we don't keep players like him, for example Mason Mount, blah blah blah, I think we need to worry. And it was a good act today, And I was speaking to my old man. My old man was an ex-semi-pro, whatever. There was talk that they'd asked Reece James not to go forward, and I can't quite understand why they choose to do that with a player who's absolutely dominant, bombing past players down the wing and creating chances.
His crosses are absolutely lethal.
Absolutely lethal. And that's what you need. You need options from the back as well as you move forward. And he gives Chelsea that. I think, in all fairness, we need to give him more game time and allow him to develop. But I suppose along the back line, we've got quite a few options at the moment as a squad.
100%. What I will say about Reece James, right, is I do love Reece, but one thing that he does need to get in his game is he needs to learn with his concentration, because sometimes he does get caught ball watching. I did a few times in the game. If some crosses had made it across, if not for Christensen, James wasn't switched on. If he's able to switch on and know where his man is at all times when we are on the defensive and they're on the attack, then we've got a player. And I will also say this at the same time. There's not a right wing back in world football, or even right back, that I want to see play over Reece James. I want him to stay at Chelsea. Because same way as you, I think that this guy is integral to Chelsea. And I'm actually going to go as far to say, now that we've got a clinical striker at Chelsea Football Club, we might see him pull out Trent Alexander-Arnold assist numbers. Why the fuck not? Because his delivery is just as good. He can hit a free kick as well. He can do everything that Reece James can do. Trent can do. But what Trent had, what Trent had was Salah, Sane, and Firmino in front of him. Way more clinical than what we've been having. Now that we see Lukaku up front, I think that Reece James can get those numbers. What do you reckon?
As long as Lukaku performs as the way that he was at Inter Milan, like I said, I was a little bit hesitant with the signing, as a previous history where he's been what he's done. As long as Lukaku is firing on all cylinders, and even if Werner can pick up some of the slack as well with things that are going on, then yeah, I think you could see an absolute stalwart season from Reece James, and in all fairness, become on that same topic as Alexander-Arnold was with the Liverpool season that they had. So in all fairness, I'm hoping he can do the same.
Who was your man of the match today?
Do you know what? And as cliche as it is, I've got to give it to Lukaku. Man on his debut, scores a very nice goal. Very unlucky not to score two. Bullied the defenders. I mean, look at the state of that stupid dive that came through as he pushed the man off. Let's be fair. He deserves it today. He's helped Chelsea secure the win. He's made his statement on the Premier League. He's here to do the business, and that's what we're after.
100%. Do you reckon that we're in for a shot for the league this year?
I hope so. I'm 85%. 85%. I've got my reservations because of Man City, and I still believe in Pep Guardiola and what he does, and I understand it. I like Tuchel's process. I like what's happening with the club. I like the fact that we've managed to win two major trophies this season. I know the Super Cup is whatever you want to call it. It's a trophy. I believe in Tuchel's process. I would have liked a little bit more recruitment this summer. I'd have liked to have seen a bit more. But in all fairness, yeah, I think we've got a good shout. The window closes on the 31st of August. So we've got what, another 9 days?
We've got another 9 days. So in transfer window time, that's still a lot of time. But what makes me confident is the fact that if City still persist with Ferran Torres as their main striker all season, and they don't sign Harry Kane, and they don't sign Lautaro Martinez, that, I believe, gives us a strong advantage over Man City because they don't have the depth in numbers going forward.
No, absolutely. I think the loss of Aguero, regardless of his playtime, is huge for City. He's been an absolute mainstay for their squad.
100%.
They need to recruit, and I don't want in all fairness, I like competition in the Premier League. I like to see it at the top tight. You go through to the last game day of the season and see it being horrendous. You know, nail-biting, edge of your seat last day of the season. I think if City don't do that, and they seem like they're quite happy to offload Gabriel Jesus, they seem like they're willing to put him in a swap deal. If you're at that point with your main striker or your mainstay, you're worried about your upfront options. They need to make a signing. If they don't make a signing, you're right, 100%. They're gonna falter at some way. There's gonna be, like you say, a lack in depth, a lack in options, and it's going to be difficult. I'd only recently heard that they thought that Harry Kane had been finalised. Yet then we've just seen, obviously this afternoon, him play for Tottenham.
Yeah. Not a good sign if you're a City fan.
Do you think he's going to go?
I mean, if you had asked me this question yesterday, I was going to say yeah. But from I saw Harry Kane getting involved today, and purely because of the nature of the value of that transfer being rumoured of 150 M's upwards, you don't want to risk injury to collateral. Because at that point, that's what Harry Kane is. He's equity. Why would you want to risk your equity in playing him in a game? So that's where I come from, where like...
Maybe that's Tottenham's statement.
Maybe. I mean, if it is, I can't understand it because you're 1-0 up already. Quite early in the game, Ali got the penalty in. So I don't really see... But again, I didn't watch the game unless Wolves were a threat. I didn't really see the point in bringing him on, especially if you're going to sell him to Man City. 150 M's, especially if you can get it now while there's 9 days in the window, you can do a lot with that money. So
They've still got then time to bolster their own ranks. I mean, we hate Tottenham,
we fucking hate him.
But at the end of the day, they still need to bolster their ranks. They need to try and improve. You know, as a club that managed to get to the Champions League final, regardless from being London rivals, you need to strengthen. You 100%. Have to strengthen. And if you're prepared to lose your talisman and your main man, you need to spend some money.
100%. No, 100%. So, yeah, I think I've asked all the right questions. I've asked you whether you think Chelsea will challenge. You've said they will challenge. Obviously, you're not going to jinx it and be as confident as what I'm saying.
You've got to be careful.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. But JP, thank you very much for joining me here on Man Knows Football. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You're on social media and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll find JP's details in the description so you can follow him. But yeah, guys, thank you very much. Take it easy. Bless.